Single dad slapped in his own hotel by female manager. 9 minutes later, he fired the entire staff. Part 1. The slap echoed through the marble lobby like a gunshot. Guests froze mid-step. A bellboy dropped a luggage tag. Somewhere near the espresso bar, a porcelain cup rattled against its saucer. Daniel Reed didn't move. He stood there, one hand still wrapped around the handle of his worn leather briefcase, the other hanging loosely by his side. His head had snapped slightly to the right from the force of it, cheek burning, ears ringing, but his expression remained calm. Almost unreadable. Across from him, Melissa Grant, the hotel's general manager, was breathing hard. Her manicured fingers trembled as she lowered her hand, red nail polish flashing under the chandelier lights. "How dare you?" she hissed, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Do you have any idea who you're talking to?" Daniel slowly turned his face back toward her. "Yes," he said quietly. "I do." A murmur rippled through the lobby. Some guests pretended to check their phones. Others openly stared. The security guard near the entrance shifted his weight, unsure whether to intervene. Melissa laughed sharply. "You janitors are all the same. You think because you wear a suit today, you get to question my staff. My policies." Daniel glanced down at his suit, a simple charcoal gray, perfectly tailored but intentionally modest. He hadn't worn it in years. Not since before his wife died. Not since life had forced him to choose between boardrooms and bedtime stories. "I wasn't questioning your policies," Daniel replied. "I was pointing out that your receptionist charged a grieving widow for an extra night she didn't stay. And when I asked for an explanation, you told me to mind my place." Melissa's eyes flashed. "Because it is your place. This is a 5-star hotel. We don't take instructions from." She gestured at him dismissively. "Staff." That word hung in the air. Behind the front desk, the receptionist in question avoided eye contact. Two concierges exchanged nervous looks. They all knew what had happened. They'd seen the old woman cry, hands shaking as she tried to explain she'd left at dawn to attend her husband's funeral. And they'd done nothing. Daniel exhaled slowly. "Melissa," he said, saying her name for the first time. "I'm going to ask you once to apologize. To me, and to her." The manager straightened, incredulous. "Or what?" The silence stretched. Then Daniel looked at his watch. 9 minutes. That's all it took. He reached into his briefcase and pulled out a slim black folder. Calmly, deliberately, he set it on the counter between them. Melissa scoffed. "What is this? Another complaint? You think corporate listens to?" Daniel opened the folder. Inside was a single document bearing the hotel's logo, stamped and signed in blue ink. Melissa's smile faltered. Her eyes scanned the page once. Twice. Color drained from her face. What is this?" she whispered. Daniel finally met her gaze fully. His eyes were steady, tired, and cold in a way that came only from years of sacrifice. "My resignation," he said softly. "From a job I walked away from 8 years ago. And my reinstatement, effective this morning." A beat. "I'm Daniel Reed," he continued. "Founder and majority owner of the Aurora Grand Hotel Group." A collective gasp swept the lobby. The security guard stiffened. The bellboy's jaw dropped. The receptionist's hands flew to her mouth. Melissa staggered back as if struck. "This is a joke," she stammered. You're dead." Reed stepped down after my wife died," Daniel finished for her. "Yes, I left, sold portions of my shares, kept the rest in a trust, let executives like you run things while I raised my daughter." He paused, jaw tightening for a split second. "And watched," he added, as standards slipped. Melissa's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Daniel closed the folder and checked his watch again. 8 minutes, 30 seconds, he murmured. He turned slightly, addressing the lobby without raising his voice. "Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the disturbance. Please enjoy complimentary refreshments for the next hour." One of the concierges snapped into motion, already calling the bar. Daniel turned back to Melissa. "You slapped me," he said. "In my own hotel." I didn't know," she began, tears welling. "Mr. Reed, please." He raised a hand, stopping her. "I know," he said. "That's the problem." He looked past her, eyes scanning the staff lined up behind the desk. "Every one of you saw how she treated that woman," Daniel said. "And every one of you decided silence was safer. No one spoke. I built this company on one rule," he continued. "Luxury without humanity is just expensive cruelty." Melissa's knees buckled. She grabbed the counter for support. Daniel turned to the security guard. Please escort Ms. Grant to her office. She's relieved of her duties. The guard hesitated only a fraction of a second before nodding. Yes, sir. As Melissa was led away, sobbing apologies spilling from her lips, Daniel addressed the remaining staff. If you're wondering whether your jobs are safe, he said evenly, they're not. A wave of panic swept through them. Effective immediately, Daniel continued, every employee on duty during this incident is terminated. The words hit like thunder. But sir, the receptionist cried. We need this job. Daniel's expression softened, but only slightly. So did that widow need compassion, he replied. And none of you gave it. He checked his watch one final time. 9 minutes, he said quietly. The lobby was silent. Daniel turned and walked toward the elevators, his cheek still stinging, his heart pounding, not with anger, but with resolve. Upstairs, in the penthouse he hadn't set foot in for nearly a decade, his phone buzzed. A message from the nanny. Emma finished her homework early today. She says she misses you. Daniel closed his eyes for a brief moment. I'm coming home, he whispered. But first, he had an empire to fix. To be continued.